All right. Ready to dive into a retail showdown. Target versus Walmart. We're talking about more than just shopping carts and clearance aisles here.
It really is a battle for the heart of the American shoppers.
Right. This is deep stuff. We're going to use this podcast episode as our guide today.
Sounds good to me.
So, are you a treat yourself Target person or more of a get it done Walmart shopper?
Huh. I think we all have our moments.
Today, we're going to uncover how these giants took the crown and the psychology they used to win us over.
What I find fascinating is how two brands that seem so opposite can both tap into what the average shopper desires.
Exactly. Getting a good deal versus getting something special. It's a fine line they walk. But for now, let's rewind. Okay, let's go back to the beginning.
Back to the beginning it is.
Our source material dives into Target's history, and it's surprisingly strategic.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you know that Target wasn't always about trendy home goods and designer collabs?
It's true. It's easy to forget that these retail giants had much more modest beginnings.
Seriously. It all started back in 1902. A guy named George Dayton. And his company, Dayton's Dry Goods, doesn't exactly scream Target chic, does it?
Uh-huh. No, not quite the same ring to it. It was actually his grandson, Douglas, who had the vision for Target as we know it.
Interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, he strategically placed stores to compete with their then-rival, Donaldson's. It's like they were playing retail chess way back then.
So even from the beginning, it was all about outmaneuvering the competition.
It seems that way.
And talk about knowing your audience. Douglas Dayton really understood that shoppers wanted a more elevated experience even way back then.
He really did. The man was ahead of his time. He saw a gap in the market for a store that had both style and value.
He wanted to offer something different, and he wasn't afraid to take risks to make it happen, right?
Right. The source mentions some of Target's early experiments. Like they had this chain called Venture, which was their attempt at a more upscale offering.
Venture, huh? And how did that work out?
Well, it didn't exactly set the world on fire.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Even these huge companies have to adapt and learn from their mistakes.
That's how it goes.
And Target obviously learned a lot because they totally nailed their cheap chic thing.
Yeah, that and their logo, the iconic bullseye.
Yeah.
Talk about genius branding. It's instantly recognizable, memorable.
And it definitely gives off a sense of playfulness and excitement.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got Target busy cultivating its image as the stylish and affordable option. Meanwhile, Walmart is building a retail empire on a totally different foundation. Rock-bottom prices, a huge selection, and of course, the one and only Sam Walton.
Sam Walton. Now there's a legend in the retail world.
He was relentless.
He really was. This man had a vision. Offer the lowest prices and don't stop until you get there.
Absolutely. He was obsessed with things like barcodes and computerized inventory systems.
All about efficiency and cost cutting. You know, those innovations Walmart implemented really were game changers. They showed the retail industry what happens when you use technology to streamline and then pass the savings on to the customer.
And shoppers loved it. Walmart's popularity exploded. It basically became a household name, synonymous with affordability.
I mean, who doesn't love a bargain?
Right. But the source doesn't shy away from some of the controversies surrounding Walmart's rise either.
Yeah, that's true. They do touch on that.
Walmart definitely faced some criticism, especially for their labor practices.
And their environmental impact.
It's a good reminder that there's always more to the story. There are so many complex factors behind those bright aisles and catchy slogans.
Absolutely. There always is.
It's almost like they're in our heads or something, you know?
Right. Like they know how to get us to buy things even when we don't need them.
It's that Target effect, you know what I mean? You go in for toothpaste and you come out with a whole cart full of stuff. Throw pillows, organizers, a cute notebook you'll never use.
Totally. It's a real phenomenon. And there's a reason for it.
Okay, so what is it? What are these retail masterminds doing to make us spend so much money?
Well, let's start with Target. They've really honed this image of what the source calls affordable luxury, right?
Affordable luxury, yeah.
Like you can snag trendy items without totally breaking the bank. You feel like you're getting a little taste of the good life.
Without the hefty price tags. You're right. It's aspirational, but still attainable.
Exactly.
Like, okay, I might not have my dream house, but my throw pillows are straight out of Pinterest.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And those designer collaborations, pure genius.
Seriously.
They make it an event. It's not just a shopping trip. You feel this urgency, like, oh, I got to get it before it's gone.
It's true. I do. It's like you're not just buying a sweater, you're buying a piece of that designer's world or whatever.
Exactly. It's very clever, and it obviously worked.
It does. It really does. But now let's look at Walmart. Their strategy seems simpler, you know?
It does, doesn't it? Like, it's all about the low prices, right? End of story.
Yeah. Low prices, end of story. But I bet there's more to it than that.
Oh, you better believe it. Walmart might be all about low prices, but they also know how to tap into our desire for, well, value
and
efficiency.
Yeah.
We want the best possible deal, and we want it now. It's basically human nature.
I mean, they deliver on that for sure.
They do. And there's something so satisfying about knowing you got the absolute lowest price on something. Like you won.
It's a little victory, right? Like in our crazy busy days, a win is a win.
Exactly. And don't forget the thrill of the hunt.
Oh, right. Yes. You never know what you're going to find in those aisles.
It's like a bargain-filled adventure every time. You could strike gold in there.
You really could. And you know what else? Their supercenter model, that's genius.
Total genius. Especially for busy families.
They've got everything. Groceries, clothes, home goods, electronics, you name it.
One-stop shopping. Which is a godsend in today's world. Saves everyone so much time.
Huge time saver. But remember earlier when we were talking about these brands reflecting bigger cultural trends?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the source goes even deeper into that.
Oh, yeah, it does. It's not just about shopping, right? It's like a reflection of our whole society.
Exactly. Okay, so break it down for us. What are they reflecting?
Well, think about it this way. Target's rise really lined up with that whole prestige trend.
Prestige? Okay, explain that one. What's prestige?
So prestige is this idea where luxury brands become more accessible to, everyday people.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a merging of mass and prestige.
Right.
And Target really capitalized on this growing desire for style, They made it cool to be stylish and budget savvy.
That's true. And what about Walmart then?
Well, Walmart's success often gets linked to, unfortunately, the struggles of the American middle class. As families face more and more economic pressure, Walmart was there with their rock-bottom prices.
It was like a lifeline for a lot of families, for sure.
Absolutely. They were there to provide those everyday essentials when people needed them most. Right. And it's a good point. Target and Walmart are often seen as rivals, but they're both products of the American consumer landscape, right?
Totally. Like they're both part of the same story.
And they've both adapted to changing economic realities and how our needs as shoppers have changed over the years.
That are still changing.
Right. Exactly.
Tastes are constantly evolving. But, at the end of the day, it's not about picking sides.
No, I don't think so.
It's about appreciating that both brands have a place in our culture and in our shopping habits.
Totally. They appeal to different parts of who we are as consumers, what we value.
Exactly. We can love that feeling of scoring a stylish deal at Target and still get excited about stocking up on essentials at Walmart. They both bring something to the table.
I agree. I like how the source puts it. It's not an either-or situation. Our shopping carts, they contain multitudes.
They really do. But the source leaves us with this really interesting question. It asks, can there ever be a truce in this battle of the brands?
A truce, huh? Can Target and Walmart ever really coexist peacefully?
It's a really interesting question.
What do you think?
Could Target, with all its emphasis on design, on aspiration, could they ever really see eye to eye with Walmart and their focus on value and efficiency?
Right.
Or are they, locked in some epic battle, a battle for our hearts and minds and wallets?
Then shopping carts. It reminds me of all those classic rivalries out there.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, Coke versus Pepsi.
Yeah.
Apple versus Android.
Right. Classic.
We love a good head-to-head competition.
We do. It's true. And those rivalries, they really tap into something, our desire to be different, to belong, even if that tribe is just about where we like to buy our groceries.
And our throw pillows.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm starting to think? Maybe this isn't about picking a winner.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
Maybe it's not about hoping for a truce either. Maybe this whole back and forth, this push and pull between value and aspiration, maybe that's what keeps things interesting.
I think you're really onto something there. This isn't just a fun quirk of consumer culture, is it?
I don't think so.
It reflects something way bigger, this tension that I think a lot of us feel.
Yeah, we want it all.
We do. We want the quality, the style, the convenience,
But we also have budgets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And values we have to balance all that with as well.
Hmm.
Like our source points out, Target and Walmart, they both represent different sides of, like, the American dream.
Ooh.
Think about it. Walmart, they promise to make all those everyday essentials accessible to everyone. That speaks to this dream of opportunity, affordability.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then you have Target with their super carefully curated selection of stylish but budget-friendly stuff,
Yeah?
They speak to that desire to,
Yeah.
like, achieve a certain lifestyle, add a little aspiration into the mix.
They both tell a part of the story.
They do. They're part of the same narrative.
Yeah.
But they both fulfill different needs and different desires. And ultimately, I think that's good for everybody.
In what way?
Well, this competition, it keeps both companies on their toes. They're constantly trying to innovate, to make better products, offer better prices, and a better overall shopping experience.
Right.
Because they both know that the customer has choices. And we, the shoppers, we get the benefits of that.
It's a win-win.
Totally.
So what's next for these retail giants? What do you think?
Well, who knows? There's online shopping. We've got changing demographics. The tastes of shoppers are changing constantly.
These actors.
I know. But no matter what happens, it'll be super fascinating to watch how it all unfolds.
It really will. This has been such a great conversation.
I agree. It has.
Target and Walmart, they're more than just stores,
It's so true.
They're cultural barometers, reflecting our values, our dreams, our complicated relationship with all things shopping.
Well said.
We've unpacked a lot, haven't we? The history of these brands, their strategies for success.
All the psychology behind it all.
It turns out there's a lot more to Target and Walmart than meets the eye.
Way more. And the best part is, this is just the beginning.
That's right.
There's always something new to discover about the brands we think we know.
So the next time you're browsing those aisles, take a second and think about everything we've talked about today. It might just change how you shop.
Or at least make you think twice about that impulse buy.
Maybe. But hey, that's what we love to do here at the Deep Dive, right? Spark some curiosity, get people thinking about the world around them in new ways.
Love it.
Until next time, happy shopping, everyone.